Dean Wells on Zoom. Dean Wells, would you like to have some public comment today?
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
My name is Gloria Jean Wells at 94 Trask Road. At your commissioners meeting on March 27, 2023, I went on public record with my concerns regarding the Clean Energy Coalition and the appearance of conflicts of interest of one or more members of the coalition. Once again, I'm going on public record with concerns associated with the Clean Energy Coalition and potential violations of the Ethics Act. The Ethics Act applies to anyone in public service. This includes elected officials, staff, and volunteers, whether they are on coalition boards or commissions. They may not use state resources, for example, grants, supplies, equipment, for personal financial gain or activities. They must recuse themselves in voting. They may not participate in lobbying or attempting to use their political position to influence a governmental decision for a business they or their family member have a direct or indirect financial interest. It's illegal to appropriate public funds or award a contract to a for-profit or nonprofit organization if an elected official's family member has a financial interest. I appreciate and agree with Commissioner Rosenkrantz' comments this morning regarding appropriating public funds, whether through grants or local taxes, on improving infrastructure, bringing in manufacturing, improving transportation, recruiting new businesses and talent, and visiting other counties with best practices in developing business opportunities, as well as economic development, and to make sure there is a market for an investment in a potential business for the benefit to the people of Pend Oreille County. Thank you. I thank you for your time.
However, integrity is a big issue to this community, and we want to make sure that we're not having conflicts of interest. And those are a couple of things that are inescapable. There is just no way that a person can explain their way out of that.
I gift wrapped the answer for Steve Minnich at the last debate, and a 30-second phone call to the Pend Oreille County Legal Department, to the prosecuting attorney who you hired to represent the county, whose advice I took on the issue. I followed the law to the T, including highlighting the potential conflict of interest on the day we signed the contract. So you could have proven it false. You could have come here with the truth and with honesty, and you chose not to, Steve.
Okay, then we're going to follow up on that directly. Mr. Minnich had the opportunity to answer the question first. So you have now the opportunity to answer the question first. And would you please explain for the audience, both here and online, specifically to what you're answering, basically what you're referencing there?
In 60 seconds, okay, 3 key elements. Did I follow the law? My prosecuting attorney kind of determines that. Sometimes it's just green or red. I got a green light here. I followed the law as she saw it. Do I have to recuse myself is the second piece. If there isn't a conflict of interest, there isn't a reason for recusal. And especially in an important vote like this, a split vote, it's important that I show up and do what I was hired to do if there is no legal reason for me not to. That's dereliction of duty. The third element, which Steve is waving around over there, is the county policy. and that is under an appearance of a conflict of interest, I would be called to highlight that appearance. That conflict they're discussing is that my wife was a port commissioner on the other side of this contract. If you think for a moment that Commissioner Rosencrantz and Commissioner Smiley, both here in this room, were unaware my wife was a port commissioner, then you're simply not paying attention. Steve already knows better than that. And listen, he's off the question. He's chosen to switch to slander and character assassination. We see this in national debates. We see it at the
10
state
seconds.
level. This is the way you go when you can't run on your own merit, when you can't run on your own accomplishment, you switch to these tactics. I hope you see it for what it is, folks.
Thank you.
And I have 1 minute.
1 minute.
So this is the Pend Oreille County Governance Coordination Manual. And I reference Exhibit 4, Section 3. Any board member having a conflict of interest or possible appearance thereof, whether by business association or personal, shall make disclosure at the appropriate time to the county prosecuting attorney for advice on recusal when an issue may hold the potential of a conflict of interest claim. So it isn't just the conflict of interest, it is the possible appearance thereof. In plain English, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And that's
The first concern that we have on there is a citizen submitted a concern related to a potential conflict of interest between Pend Oreille County Commissioner John Gentle and the Port of Pend Oreille Commissioner Kimberly Gentle. And that was the concern that was submitted to us. We reviewed state law to determine what constitutes a conflict of interest per RCW, both generally and specifically for spouses, because we know this is a little bit different. We also reviewed official meeting minutes for the Board of County Commissioners during the audit period and inquired with county officials about this concern. The second paragraph there talks about the two RCWs that we reference and examine as part of this, RCW 4223030 and RCW 4223040. And this specifically deals with conflicts of interest and what constitutes in there. And I would like to kind of skip there to the halfway through that second bullet point for RCW 4223040 permits a municipal officer to have a remote interest in municipal contracts under certain conditions. And this includes the interest of most non-salaried officers. As both commissioners...
You haven't advanced the slide for us?
Does the slide not show a citizen hotline referral up there?
No, no, we're not on the letter itself. We're on the.
So the letter is in the what we sent to the county in an email. This is just the PowerPoint slide.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, my apologies. I'm referencing the letter. My apologies. Perfect. There. For 4223040 permits municipal officer to have a remote interest. As both commissioners are non-salaried officers of their respective jurisdictions, we determined that the situation qualifies as a remote interest per the RCW. So that's what we're working with for this concern, is a remote conflict of interest. And then we cite a AGO opinion related to conflict if both spouses serve as officers, since officers receive their compensation by reason of their office and not a contract. As the compensation for both the commissioner of the county and the commissioner of the port are not dependent upon the contract between the two jurisdictions, we found that there is not a conflict of interest between Pend Oreille County Commissioner and the Port of Pend Oreille County Commissioner in regards to the contract between the county and the port for the Associated Development Organization, or the ADO. During our review, our audit found no conflicts of interest between the commissioners of the county and the port. However, our audit found no conflicts of interest between the commissioners of the county and the port.